Life as a mom and an entrepreneur can be a lot, especially if you have a young child or two. This idea that since you run a business from home, you can also watch the kids at the same time sounds promising, but isn't really doable without feeling like you're giving one more attention than the other. I mean, remember the pandemic? I've been there as a mom of 2 boys, a journalist, and an entrepreneur, and it's not easy, especially if you're doing a task that requires a lot of attention, like writing. So I asked online, how are other mompreneurs doing it? Getting work done, whether that's interacting with clients or designing products, all with the little ones at the hip. Now, 60% of moms want to start a business. That's according to a survey by Shopify. And Black moms were 2.5 times more likely to say they were very interested in starting one. But my research shows that time and again, mothers cite maintaining mom responsibilities as a barrier to getting started. And searching for real-life examples on social media, I found a lot of exhausted moms. But I also found advice. Some moms, like me, live by time blocks.
We get obsessed with these large chunks of time. Like, I just need to be locked in for 3 or 4 hours, and sometimes that's not just realistic. So the Pomodoro allows you to chunk and take 20 minutes. So you literally set a timer. 20 minutes is something that she can do and go focus and do a puzzle too. And it kind of forces you to eliminate all the distractions because all you have is 20 minutes.
Collapse your time. Don't let people box you into these 30-minute, 1 hour, 45-minute meetings and sessions. Break the time up. You can have 4 meetings in 1 hour. You got to move quick. The way that someone that as a white man in America does it, you want to cut that thing to 25%. You don't have his capacity.
Other tips? Become a night owl or keep your kids busy with crafts or even tasks to help you.
Sometimes I would have her to go get all of the packages for me. Like, we gotta, ship out these and I need 10 packages. And so she would go count out 10 packages for me. And so it was like education time, but I made it fun. So I'm still getting my work done, and I don't have her somewhere in a corner somewhere, waiting on me to finish up work.
My number one thing when I started my companies and working at the same time was to make my children as self-sufficient as possible, as quickly as possible.
Nefirdi Plessy is the founder and CEO of the LA-based organization Single Moms Planet. She encourages mompreneurs to bring their children to the store to select a few of their favorite toys or activities, and when it's time for mommy to work, those are what the kids should pull out.
So that they have ownership over what they chose.
Then there's finding the most productive place to work. Some moms resort to working out of their cars during nap time.
The thing about being home is that if there's other things happening, like the laundry is piled up or you're trying to figure out what needs to be cooked for dinner, then you're not necessarily focused on the task at hand.
Now, of course, daycare is an option, or is it?
You can purchase a brand new car every year for the amount that we would actually pay for childcare.
It costs about $17,171 a year to put an infant in daycare. That's according to the U.S. Department of Labor. And that's just the median price. For some, it costs more, which puts daycare out of reach for some, especially if they have multiple children.
You can't invest in your business if you're investing thousands of dollars a month in childcare.
Tamira Lucas is the founder of the Cube Co-work in Baltimore, Maryland. It's a co-working space that provides babysitting services for mompreneurs. We visit the Cube in part 2 of this series, so stay tuned for that. So, if you're a mom with a business and small kids, here are some other tips I heard about staying productive. Set boundaries with your children.
When the children were younger, they would just think, well, mommy's home or she's in the house or she's just close in proximity. That means I can have access to her. There's no reality where you just get to interrupt people all day. Even though I'm your mother and I'm here for you, I have something big that I'm creating, not just for me, but for us, right? And so the more that you gain that respect level and how they gain access to you, the more you can thrive in your business.
Prioritize tasks, but remember, life happens.
And time management is so important. But, when you have kids, especially minors, sometimes you have this schedule and they just shoot that to pieces because, something happens, they get sick, there's an unexpected event, But even with that, I try to, just focus on what is non-negotiable. There might be 3 to 5 of things. And then once I get done with those, I also on my list, I have these things can get done today if great, if they can. But if they can't, I can push them, to sometime this week. And it keeps me from being overwhelmed.
And this came up constantly. Get help, no matter how hard it feels to ask.
My mom was my savior. I'm so type A that it forced me to learn how to ask for help.
And even if you can't lean on your mom, consider this.
We're going to start off with free support. Free support is making sure that every friend that you have that you trust with your child, or every relative that you have that you trust with your child, knows and understands what you're up to, what you're looking to create, and figuring out what day of the week for 2 to 3 to 4 hours can they have your child. Let's say 6 people who say yes for 1 day a month where they watch your child for you, or even better if they say yes to 2, right? So now you have 12 days out of the month where someone is watching your child for you at no cost, right? So, I totally did this.
Another tip, be open to who gives the help, as long as your children are safe.
Maybe the father of your child, he has a great grandmother or, somebody, a sister that you trust, right? Doesn't mean you have to love them. They have to be your favorite person in the world. I think a lot of the times we're like thinking this person has to be like our bestie in order for them to watch our little stinky booty baby.
As a mom, you may want things done a certain way, so leave reminders for your babysitters, but let the judgment go.
Allow that support to come in, even when it doesn't look like the way you would do it. And just get done, get your stuff done. Don't be sitting up there worried about your baby for 15 minutes and the hours are going by and you're not focused on what you need to do.
The final piece of advice I found, and it may be the most important, don't forget to schedule in one-on-one time with your child.
Time is flying by, and I don't want to be so focused on providing that I don't have those emotional moments, those emotional connections. And so I would tell any mom, just wherever you can find them. Sometimes it's that 5-minute ride to daycare or that 5-minute ride to school, or sometimes she get in the car when I pick her up. That ride home is our bonding time.
So do you have some tips to add about how to stay productive with small children? Drop them in the comments below. We want to hear from you. I'm going to share as many as I can on my social media pages. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more Black mompreneur tips and part 2 of this series on staying productive with young children. See ya.